Each year, people love to turn to past and present prophets to determine what is going to happen in the year to come. But how accurate are these predictions? Yes, some of these predictions have happened, but some haven't due to decipher issues or just timelines being out or uncertain. Today, I talk about 5 scary 2025 predictions that have been foretold by these past and present prophets. Hello and welcome back, or welcome to my channel. If you don't know what's going on here, well, I'm certainly not going to be sitting here condoning people being worried about other people eating whole foods and beefsteaks while you go on eating your Cheetos and refined sugars. But I am a horror artist and I like to draw what I talk about in these videos. Now, I like anything to do with conspiracies, aliens, paranormal, scary facts, true crimes, any of that good stuff. And because I like to draw, I like to combine all of that into these videos to hopefully bring you a unique experience. Now, welcome to the new year. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Christmas and holidays. And in the new year, if you want to support me in any way, shape or form, I do have a Redbubble store where you can purchase the prints that you see from the illustrations on these videos. And I also have an Etsy store where you can purchase felt toy patterns. And I make all kinds of toys on there. I've got horror movie characters, I've got my own designs. If you are a creative person, head across there and have a look. And also I have a company that supports my channel called Down to Ground, and they make grounding mats for you to sleep on, stand on, and all that type of stuff, which replicates the ions that you get out in the earth if you went outside and you stood barefoot. Now, this helps alleviate inflammation in your body. It helps stop you peeing several times a night. It also helps with recovery from exercising, which is something that I have found has worked for me because I've been sleeping on this thing for 4 months and I've been monitoring it with my exercise because I do a lot of weight training and I do tend to rip the muscles a fair bit, and it was taking me 3 to 4 days to recover. Now it's only taking me 1 to 2 days to recover. Now, Down to Ground seems to be the only company that will supply you with a wall tester to test the plugs in your house to make sure your house is grounded, because these mats, they plug in via the electrical outlet in your house, but they don't connect via the electricity. It's only the grounding port that it uses, so you won't get electrocuted at all. I get a better night's sleep on this because it does help with your sleep, because I have been a shit sleeper all my life. And the mat is surprisingly comfortable. It is quite soft and you don't even know it's on your bed. If this sounds like something that could be for you, head across to downtoground.co and you will get your money back if this isn't for you. Now, a lot of these things that are holistic aren't for everyone and they don't work for everyone, so have peace of mind that if this doesn't work for you, you can get your money back. Now, this year in 2025, I am trying to get on board with a lot of other health supplements and that I do personally take. I've been a guinea pig for a lot of this stuff, so I am just not going to push something that I have no idea about. The products that I push are stuff that I already have personal experience with, and I want people to reap the benefits of everything that I am using, because I have suffered a lot in my life with certain ailments, especially anxiety and all that type of stuff, and I've always had a really bad stomach, and I'm always looking for things to make me feel better, but naturally, because I am right into all the natural stuff, because I personally think you shouldn't be taking chemicals for anything. I'm a bit of a hypocrite with that, because I do take a chemical for my anxiety because it's the only thing that's ever worked for me, because I have massive issues with that, but I won't get into that right now. Just trying to heal everybody one person at a time. Because the world is so fucked up with everything, with big food trying to kill us, big pharma trying to make us sick and kill us, and I am hoping that it works for other people. Like, I know it's not one size fits all. So with that being said, let's finally get into the video, into this new year of 2025, and let's pray that this year is going to be better than the last year. Let's dive in, shall we? Baba Vanga, who was a Bulgarian blind mystic that died in 1996, had a prediction accuracy of around 85%, and she predicted that once Syria falls, we will see a great war between the West and the East. She basically predicted World War III. The prediction goes on to say that the people in the west, Syria, will suffer grim fates. The war in the east will destroy the west. The Syrian government has apparently just recently collapsed on the 8th of December 2024, and the Syrian president, Bashar al-Assad, had to flee to Moscow to seek asylum because rebels took over the capital. Baba Vanga has predicted in the past the collapse of the Soviet Union, COVID-19, the Chernobyl nuclear disaster, the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, the death of Stalin, the former president of the Soviet Union, and 9/11. She predicted that what happens in 2025 with Syria will affect Europe, and the war will apparently spread wide and decimate the European population, which will cause a type of apocalypse. The French prophet Nostradamus predicted a similar thing too that would affect Europe in 2025. Nostradamus predicted in 2025 that cruel wars and plagues will come into fruition in Europe. Well, if Bill Gates gets his way, there will be another plague of something to try and scare us into getting more vaccines. The dickhead is already trying to get bovia in cows to poison us to reduce, quote-unquote, cows farting, as they are, in his words, causing too much CO2, which is a load of bullshit. How about you stop flying around in your private jet that emits way more than 1,000 cows would in a lifetime? Anyway, I digress. Nostradamus said that an ancient plague will rock humanity that is, in his words, worse than enemies. Psychic Deborah Davies predicted that aliens will make physical contact with humans in 2025, and it will be a peaceful thing. They are coming to help humanity. Oh yes, please, we need some help from the absolute shit show in governments across the world, except America. They got their shit together now that they've got Trump back in. But Deborah claims that aliens will no longer fear us and will no longer hide themselves from us. There will be an even bigger rise in UFO sightings in the beginning of 2025, then an increase in direct contact despite the government's efforts to keep it on the down low. Deborah believes that aliens will once again help us, like they did in the past, to progress and advance us, as they do not want us to destroy this planet. Could this be what is happening right now in New York and Pennsylvania with all the quote-unquote drone sightings? The government right now is saying that they have no idea what these things are or where they are coming from, but President-elect Donald Trump calls bullshit, and so do I. I think they should be trying to shoot these things down, or if not, civilians should be trying to get closer and get high-quality cameras to take the pictures. I'm sick of seeing these grainy-ass camera jobs. This even could be a Project Bluebeam tactic to get people scared, but we ain't gonna be scared because after the year that people have had with the cost of living through the roof and not being able to afford food, this is the least of our worries. Also, a drone was spotted shooting some sort of mist out of it like a chemtrail. We are likely now to discover aliens and life on another planet with the discovery of the star in the TRAPPIST-1 system in the constellation Aquarius, which was found initially by the Spitzer Space Telescope and is now being studied by the James Webb Space Telescope. 7 Earth-sized planets have been discovered around a red dwarf star called TRAPPIST-1 that is slightly bigger than Jupiter. The TRAPPIST-1 system is located 40 light years away from Earth. TRAPPIST-1 E, F and G are apparently inhabitable zones where temperatures are okay enough to supply liquid water on the surface. The others are not inhabitable zones to support life. They appear to also be tide-locked to the star, which means that only one side of the planet faces the star at all times while orbiting it, causing daytime permanently on one side and nighttime on the other. Because the system is so densely packed, there is no sign of moons, as the moons would have smashed into neighbouring planets due to them being so close together. This one is hardly terrifying to me, but it may terrify others. So-called climate change is going to cause insurance companies to go broke. Now, just so we are clear, I do not believe in climate change. I think it is a scam to get more money from the taxpayer. They just need to stop chemtrailing in the sky to give the illusion of climate change and poisoning us at the same time. Apparently, a natural disaster will hit the US and catch insurance companies unaware, and it's going to cause mass flooding and so much widespread devastation that it will be in the billions of dollars to rebuild people's homes that are affected. And what happens when these pay out? Insurance companies' prices go through the roof in an already struggling economy. Insurance companies will start to experience losses that they just were not built for, and you can't just keep increasing the cost to crazy amounts that no one is going to be able to pay. Doing some research into this, some of the ways that insurance companies can make changes to keep more money in the company for the people that pay their insurance premiums is to reduce unnecessary jobs within the company that are just not needed. The rise of an aquatic empire will happen in 2025. Nostradamus predicted that apocalyptic tides will reveal an aquatic empire with his exact phrase of, "From the depths, a ruler will rise in the midst of floods reaching to the skies. Empires will fall and new waves will reign, the aquatic empire from the realm of the ocean." Now let's dissect this with my own brain. Could this mean that a leader will rise from the ocean in a USO? A USO being an unidentified submerged object. There has been a rise in UFOs and USOs emerging from the ocean. Maybe UFOs never came from the sky. They were originally all from the ocean. Now hear me out. Just think about it. The ocean is apparently the most unexplored place, and what better than to hide deep down in the depths of the ocean? We all know that the technology they possess could handle the pressures of the deep. Could the aquatic empire give birth to someone who will lead the world into a better future? We all know that Trump will lead the US in 2025. Could Nostradamus be leaning to Trump being the ruler and the change that will come from it? But what about the aquatic reference? We all know that Nostradamus could only describe what he could see in the 1500s in his own words, for the vocabulary that people had back then just wasn't what it is today. Maybe it could have something to do with Trump and even Bobby Kennedy. We all know that Bobby Kennedy is going to be declaring war on the health system with food and water. He is going to take out chemicals from the water such as fluoride, as there is no safe levels of fluoride to consume at all. And there are studies that you can go and access on Google that say that places that have fluoride in the water have the lowest IQs in the world. So don't drink the water unless it's filtered. Could this be an element that good old Nostradamus was seeing? Just one part of healing the world. This seems to all line up with the prophecy for next year, the year that Trump and Bobby Kennedy take over America. Could it also be a play on words for the oligarchs falling? Aquatic references could mean a sweeping or cleansing of the power in the world, which will change direction out of the pure nonsense that is going on right now. We are all waking up and realizing that big corps do not have our best interest at heart, and these greedy fucks need to be dismantled. Only time will reveal what is going to happen with the rise of the aquatic empire. What do you think? It appears that Brazil may be rocked by natural disasters in 2025. Once again, Nostradamus said, "Garden of the world near the new city, in the path of the hollow mountains. It will be seized and plunged into the tub, forced to drink waters poisoned by sulfur." Apparently, the Garden of the World is the Amazon rainforest, and this is going to be flooded and disappear into the Amazon basin, or the tub, which Nostradamus said. And the sulfur may be the volcanic activity that contaminates the rivers of the Amazon, making the water toxic and undrinkable. The new city part of the prophecy may be the capital, Brasilia, which became Brazil's capital in 1960, which is pretty newly appointed in the scheme of things from the previous Rio de Janeiro, which was the capital from 1763 to 1960. Apparently, the region of the country is covered in mountainous ranges, and a volcano near Cutest made some rumbling noises years ago that put the place on edge. There is also volcanoes on the Andes Mountains that run along the western edge of South America, which could blow their tops any time and cause not only issues with South America, but the sulfur clouds could travel further around the world and affect the sun and air quality. Who really knows what is going to happen? Nostradamus' work was hard to decipher as he wrote in a different language that doesn't really exist, and some people tried to decipher it over the centuries and failed, or they just guessed at what he was trying to say, but some things have been guessed right, especially the prediction of the Queen dying. But he just didn't want to be burnt at the stake, so that is why he wrote in such a way, as it was the Inquisition times in the 1500s. So what do you think about all these predictions? Write your comments in the comment section below, because I'd be very curious to know if you think that any of this is going to happen, or if you have heard of other predictions that may be coming true or going to come true. Now for the illustration that I did, basically new year, new me, I have just changed everything and I've gone back to basics. So this is just basically a black and white ink drawing, and I really just wanted to spend time working on my art because I have been so unhappy with what I've been doing. So this is just a complete change of what I have been doing. I'm ditching the watercolors for a while and I'm working on myself and my art because, yeah, I've just been traveling down a really bad path, I feel, and I just need to do something different. It just feels right to be doing just pen illustrations at the moment because, yeah, I just need to work on some issues there. So the illustration is of something that just came to my mind thinking of all these predictions, and I just sort of mushed them into one, and this is what I came up with. And I don't mind the tentacles. Like there's I tried to put as much detail into the tentacles coming out of this thing's legs as much as possible, just working on that and sort of just really taking my time and slowing down. So that is what I'm going to do this year. I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this style, but yeah, just bear with me and follow the journey, and we'll see where it takes me. Anyway, that is it from me. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. Dislike it, I really couldn't care less what you do, because any interaction that you give me goes towards the algorithm for other people to find me. And hopefully I see you guys in the next one. Bye.